All right. We are back with another episode. As of this recording, it is May 9th, 2025. We will be releasing on May 10th, the day before Mother's Day. So happy Mother's to you all. And by the way, Habemus Papam. We have a new pope. But
I want to turn that music down, dude. It's really loud.
Oh, sorry. Let me do that real quick, too. Before we get into that, this is, by the way, I'm Gerard, little brother Alex, missing guys JR, and this is another episode of the GAJ Podcast. Welcome back if you've been here before. If not, thank you for joining us. If you're new, we'd love it if you consider subscribing, leaving a comment so we know you're there, or even shooting us an email at gagepodcast@gmail.com. Time to get into it, folks. Big week. Habemus Papam. We're going to get into that. Before we do, we got to cover one thing first. And that is Mom Spaghetti. Our favorite pastime is eating. And what did Mom have for dinner this week for us? She had this. I haven't actually read this yet, so you got to bear with me a little bit. She got some grilled chicken from the grocery store, like the hot food section. So here in Kansas City, one of the big stores is Hy-Vee. They have actually a couple of hot food sections where you can get like the fried chicken or chicken fingers with mashed potatoes. They also have an Asian food section. And even a deli where they can make you sandwiches. So that's kind of where Mom went. I don't know what grocery store she went to, but excuse me. She got some fried chicken or grilled chicken, and she mixed it with some sauces, so oyster sauce, soy sauce, vinegar sauce, some spices, added some yellow and red peppers and spinach, and put it on top of a Filipino favorite, garlic fried rice. Sounds pretty delicious. Looks pretty delicious. Going to a bigger picture there. Ooh, it actually looks pretty healthy. I don't know. What do you think, Alex? I think it looks pretty good.
Looks all right. I'm starting to do something a little bit similar, and I'll show that when I screen share a little bit later.
Okay. Yeah, I think the one thing that it looks good just the way it is. One thing is I would probably do, just because it's my thing, tap it with some sriracha sauce. Ooh, I bet that'd be good. I bet that would be real, real good. You know what, Alex? I'm going to let you go real quick because I don't know that I got everything out here. What do you have to share with us? Do it. The weekend special. Oh my gosh.
Actually, usually I go on Saturdays to get Filipino food, but I went yesterday because I just felt like it, and I work fairly close to where I get Filipino food
baby.
from. I cut out the picture of the rice because you all know what rice looks like. On the left there, we got pork adobo, and it was damn good. I mean, it's a little different. It's kind of the sauce is a lot more transparent as opposed to some adobo sauce that's a lot more opaque and darker. But I got there at the right time. I got there around 6 p.m.
So it was
maybe a little bit after that. So it was like there's no rush, but they had the food ready, and it kind of had time to settle. The sauce had time to settle instead of being all watery, so I had to thicken up. So it tasted pretty damn good. And then on the right there, kind of a staple of mine is I get pork menudo also.
Damn,
that was pretty damn good too. So
hell yeah,
I enjoyed it. I don't know if I'll go again on Saturday. I might. Who knows? It's supposed to be really good weather, so I might try to stay a little more close to home.
Why not, man?
Yeah, I had a good meal yesterday.
Why not?
I had a good meal yesterday with my adobo and my menudo. I did have a big pile of liver from the menudo left over, but that's expected.
Yeah, I don't I mean, I would try to eat it, but I don't know how much of it I would get through.
I know I accidentally eat some, and that's however much I accidentally eat. That's enough for me. I don't want to be eating anymore.
Fair enough. So you get a little bit of the health aspect of it. Man,
Something else I'm trying to do now, because obviously food's not cheap. Is I've been trying to eat home a lot more.
yeah.
I think I discovered something that I'm able to do. I don't have very good cooking skills. My culinary skills are horrible. But something that's simple is that I started to get chicken from Trader Joe's. Now, I watch a lot of YouTube videos that are about healthier living, working out, cleaner eating. And one of the questions was posed to one of these guys. He said, "How do I make my chicken breast taste better?" And the guy said, "Exchange it out for chicken thighs."
Yeah, buddy.
Oh yeah! So I started getting chicken thighs from Trader Joe's.
It's a little fattier, but it tastes so much better.
Because I have gout, so I have to eat arugula. There's some.
It makes it healthy.
There's some olive oils when I cook it.
Healthy fats.
In there. That jalapeno sauce from Trader Joe's. That thing is money, dude. I love that shit.
I was about to ask you about that because
I dumped that in there.
Might need to look for that.
You know that Target just happened to have a sale on avocados, so I got some avocados. Those avocados are pretty expensive now.
Yeah,
so I dumped that in there, but
they're really good for you though. Like that's
totally
right there with like extra virgin olive oil, kind of or avocado oil, like the healthy fats.
Yeah, totally. But once again, it gets pretty pricey.
And
so the kind of constant thing I'm going to be doing now is going to be chicken thighs, arugula with olive oil, and then
I love chicken thighs.
Honestly, that's actually pretty good right there. Then if I decide to add something else in there, tonight I had I threw in some Thai curry sauce from Trader Joe's, just give a different flavor. So I'm not just eating the same thing. I wish I knew how to make like an adobo sauce that I could add to this. I might play around with that.
I can give you a recipe for that. Actually, I
start throwing in like soy sauce and I don't buy vinegar though. So I think
mine is so I do it. I think it is 3/4 cups of water, 3/4 cups of rice wine vinegar, 1/4 cup of soy sauce, and then
I want it to be fast though. I don't want it to take like hours to do.
Oh no! That's like you just throw that into a pot and you just let it simmer for a while. And then
it'll be like 20 minutes and it's ready.
That once it gets to a rolling boil, it's good to go. I put a little bit of salt, pepper. If I have it, I put minced up like garlic cloves and minced up ginger. So that's my base. That doesn't take any time. Like once you get that to a rolling boil, maybe let it simmer for a few minutes and it's good to go. What takes a long time is when you put like the chicken in it, right? So when I make chicken adobo, I use chicken thighs and chicken legs. And I usually use a pretty good amount. And I like to put green beans and like quartered what I use. Oh, red potatoes. That's my chicken adobo. So that's what takes a long time to cook. Just making the sauce is pretty easy. And if you want a little thicker, you put a little bit of cornstarch in it.
Might start playing around with that.
Yeah.
Soy sauce and vinegar.
Yeah, I think. If you want, I can send it to you just to make sure. I'm pretty sure it's 3/4 cups water, 3/4 cups rice wine vinegar, 1/4 cup soy sauce, and then then you're dressing it, right? Salt, pepper, garlic, like minced up garlic cloves, and ginger. And if I have it, I use like the fresh ginger root, and I kind of grind it up or grate it and put that in there.
I'm trying to throw a lot of ingredients in that now. I'm trying to get to very minimal.
Water, soy sauce, rice wine vinegar.
There you go.
Pepper. Got to do a little salt and pepper just to bring out the flavor a little more.
Yeah. But starting to play around with that, and I might try to start making that for my meal at work, because when I go to work every day, I just have a big ass sandwich that I make from home.
Yeah,
it's getting kind of old.
It gets old for sure. Because I do that too.
It's cheap, it's easy, but I'm getting pretty sick of it. So I'm trying
keep
to do
sandwich stuff in the fridge at my office, and 2-3 days of that, and you're pretty done with that for a minute, for sure. So totally.
The lucky part for me is that we get at where I work at, we have like a market area where stuff's really cheap. So I'll get chips, not like super unhealthy chips. I'll get pop chips, and it's like 40 cents for a bag. So I'll have that with my sandwich, or I'll put it in my sandwich, just so I get some.
I still do that. I do like doing that.
I'm like, my sandwich is cold, and then the chips are, a little bit. They're like room temperature. They're not warm, but they're not cold. So it gives a little bit of a different texture.
Yeah,
adds a little more flavor. Takes away from the monotony of my, these are big ass sandwiches with roast beef, chicken, salami, ham, cheese, arugula.
Yeah, I keep some of that stuff in the office.
And hummus, but it's like after eating that for so long, you're like, okay, this is old.
Yeah, I keep some of that stuff in the office, and I can go 2, maybe 3 days, and then I gotta change it up, or if I force it in the 4th day, I'm just not even.
So I'm gonna try to make this, and I'll put it in some Tupperware.
This looks delicious.
I really enjoyed it. So I'm like, you know what? I like this. I'm gonna keep doing this until I get sick of it, because I can vary it up with. I could just use olive oil, or I could use olive oil in jalapeno sauce, or jalapeno or olive oil and some Thai curry sauce. Or this is all from Trader Joe's, by the way. All Trader Joe's items right there.
Nice.
I'll play around with some other stuff. It's because it's, the only thing is though is that I always get into this habit of just eating the same thing over and over again, even if there's a little bit of variety. And this is really good, but when you're lifting heavy, you do need carbohydrates.
Mm-hmm.
And there's like virtually no carbohydrates.
Not much in there.
Don't quote me, but there's not a whole lot of carbohydrates in this.
Not that I can tell anyway. I mean,
maybe the jalapeno sauce. Who knows? I gotta look at that thing again.
Yeah,
not enough carbohydrates for when you're lifting heavy.
Yeah. So you don't have any sort of grain in there. It's just vegetables.
There's onions. Once again from Trader Joe's, they have like a frozen onions and peppers that you just throw it in there.
Mm-hmm.
The chicken's from there. The arugula's from there. The avocado's from Target because it was on sale. The avocado's not going to be a main staple because of cost. And then the jalapeno sauce, obviously from Trader Joe's. So if I switch it out for some type of Thai curry sauce.
Ooh, nice.
I'll play around with different ones though.
Yeah, I like
next.
When I got real lean, because I was eating so much chicken, broccoli, and rice, like literally 5 days a week, the way I changed it up was different sauces, low calorie sauces. Like, you got your G Hughes, right? And you got your, I can't remember the brand that Ashley gets, but those are good, but they're kind of pricey. If you just get like Sweet Baby Ray's buffalo sauce, it's like five calories per serving. And a serving, I think it was like 28 grams, which if you do it right, 28 grams goes a long way with no matter what the sauce is.
I gotta look to see if they have buffalo sauce there, because that's a different dynamic to it.
Yeah. I always liked, my 3 staples were buffalo sauce. I did pay for the G Hughes barbecue sauce because 1, it was good, and 2, it was low calorie. And then it was kind of a combination. So I would put like shredded cheese, salsa.
Well, that's a good thing. I don't have any cheese in this.
Salsa was kind of my other variable sauce.
That's another one. But if I put the jalapeno sauce, that kind of takes care of the Mexican flavor.
Sure. Oh, way better without the cheese as far as healthy is concerned.
I'm gonna try not to add cheese in it until once I start getting more bored with it, then I'll start adding cheese.
Sure. Sure. I should do that. I'm not good at it, but yeah, dude, that looks. It not only looks healthy, but it looks like it would be pretty tasty and.
It's so tasty. I had it twice today, once yesterday.
So, beyond the tasty, the other big factor is how satiating is it? How filling is it?
It was pretty filling.
Yeah,
That's it.
because
You know what? I do also kind of pair it up with a protein shake.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, you'll almost feel like you ate too much with a like that.
I think with a protein shake at night now is that I'm starting to have diarrhea in the mornings.
Mm-hmm.
Both at home and when I go to work. So I'm like, nah, gotta rethink how I do this.
I usually have protein shakes at work. If I do it again, it's either right after a workout or early enough in the evening that I'm going to be able to poop before I go to bed.
The thing about protein shakes when you're, lifting and you're eating protein is that you have to consume it correctly. And my protein shakes are just protein powder, water, creatine. So I want fast absorption. I don't want to add yogurt or granola or any other shit.
Sure.
It's just water, protein, and creatine. So through my, expert level YouTubing of fitness videos, I learned that it's when you eat your meal, like what I'm showing on screen right now, that has protein on it, it's slow absorbing in your body. When you have a protein shake that's just water mixed with whey protein and maybe creatine, that's fast absorbing because it's just water that's mixed with it.
Yeah.
And there's only so much protein your body can absorb at once. So that's why I kind of said, okay, typically since the protein shake is kind of sweet, I want to save that as my dessert.
Almost like a dessert, yeah, 100%.
But that's not the best way to do it, because once you eat the meal, you're absorbing the protein slow.
Mm-hmm.
So if you drink the shake after that, you're probably going to waste some protein because you have the slow absorption and the fast absorption going at the same time.
Yeah.
So really the best way to do it is to drink the protein shake first, so it's fast absorbing. Eat your meal, which is slow absorbing, so that your body's able to,
especially if you eat it slower,
effectively process that protein, absorb it. What's hard to do is I'll have most of my protein shake before my meal, and then I'll have my meal, and I'm also trying to cut out my fucking addiction to Nutella. So I'll save like a small portion of my protein shake for after my meal, just to get that sweet taste.
Yeah. No, I like it.
But it doesn't. It's not always that attractive to drink your protein shake first, because the protein shake is going to be the flavor of chocolate or cookies and cream or whatever.
Yeah,
it's going to taste like dessert. So it's not appetizing to have your dessert first. It's just, if you want protein absorption and you want to optimize that, it's going to be, you have to have that protein shake first.
Honestly, just from a hungry, not hungry perspective, it makes sense to drink your protein shake first, because that's pretty satiating. And then when you start eating your meal, you're going to eat it slower. And therefore, when you eat slower and you notice that you're full, as long as you're disciplined enough to stop when you're full, you don't eat as much. Because you're feeling fuller, because that protein shake made you start to feel full pretty quick.
Yeah, it does.
It's a weird logic, but I promise you folks, you do it and it'll work. You're going to start seeing fat start to burn off you, and especially if you're working out, it's very effective.
Another thing I'm doing, because I'm trying to combat my consumption of Nutella.
Mm-hmm.
So typically I have Nutella, I spread it on bread, which, goddamn, that's a lot of sugar and carbs. So what I'm starting to do now is I'm trying to remove the bread, just takes half a tablespoonful of Nutella, and just lick it off the spoon. But it's so rich that you don't want to eat too much.
Dude, take a teaspoon, right? Little baby spoon.
Oh, it's a tablespoon.
Okay, well then
I'm going big first.
do like
baby steps.
a quarter of the tablespoon, get some Nutella in there, and then do another quarter of the tablespoon with like peanut butter. Yeah, it's like a Reese cup.
Yeah, I just want Nutella though.
I like the combination of Nutella and peanut butter.
I have that too. I have some peanut butter that I could work with.
There you go. What are you drinking?
That's Xavier and Captain Morgan.
Oh, right on. Well, let me show you some things here. So as far as interesting stuff I had, I got a little creative. We had some like leftover rolls from Texas Roadhouse. We like to have we call it suburban date night, where we go to places like Texas Roadhouse or Chili's or Olive Garden, your typical suburban chain restaurants. And we had some rolls left over that they gave us, and I went kind of similar to like Thanksgiving leftovers, except actually this is turkey. It's like lunch meat turkey and some pepper jack, lots of butter on the rolls. And I put them together and then put them in the oven for like 10 minutes. Oh, that was pretty solid as far as taste and fulfilling. There's another one. You'll notice my top bun has a chunk missing, and that's because Ashley wanted to try the roll, so she pinched off of the top of it to try it. Man, the one thing I didn't get pictures of this week, we went with our neighbors because we had been talking about it for a while to the Filipino restaurant. It's called Manila Bay, in kind of if you're familiar with Kansas City, it's the Grandview area, kind of near the Triangle. And they actually had this was Sunday, they had a buffet. It was like $20, which a little bit steep, but I ate every bit of $20, if not more, of that buffet. And they didn't even have that much. They had sinigang. They had, I already forgot. They had a few different soups or stews. They had this kind of pork adobo, which is just okay. The problem with the Filipino buffet is a lot of things that can be just okay. But they did have, rice. They had lumpia. I actually really liked the curry, and I was really pumped they had curry in the buffet. So I wanted to try everything, but I think we're going to try and go again in maybe a month or so. And I'm probably just going to eat curry because it was that good.
Is it called Manila Bay Express?
There's two of them, the same ownership. One's in downtown Kansas City, which is like carry out only. And then the restaurant is in like Grandview.
Oh, Grandview. Okay. I'm looking it up right now.
Yeah, it probably isn't as good as the places you have.
Well, the place right by me it's just okay.
Yeah,
this might be better than the place by me.
For being in the middle of the map, I'll take it. It's way better than anything I'm going to make. Oh, yeah. The one we went to is Manila Bay Express. The other one is Manila Bay Express Crossroads. So that one is either carry out or delivery only. Manila Bay Express is an actual sit-down restaurant. If you look it up in YouTube Maps, they actually have pictures of the old location. I don't see anything that's... Oh, no. They do have one picture from the new location. I'll share this with you. This is where we got to sit. Oh, I did have it up. This is where we got to sit, this like little hut. So there was four of us, Ashley, myself, and our neighbors, Marguerite and Leah. Leah is actually a quarter Filipino herself. You wouldn't be able to tell because she is white girls get. And she's taller than most Filipino women.
So she's 5'5".
No. She's
at least 5'5".
She's probably 5'7", 5'8". She's like, she might have an inch on me for sure. Very, very nice.
Ooh, their
Very
barbecue looks
sweet.
good.
The skewers were excellent, but they were also freshly cooked. The buffet is where it fell off a little bit because it's a buffet, and I get that.
Yeah, making it mass producing it.
Yeah, so here's part of the
So it's
buffet.
watery as far as the sauce goes.
They make delicious fried chicken, but I definitely wouldn't recommend you get it from the buffet if that's what you're there for, because it just sits under that cooker and it got not great. But it was pretty solid. It was pretty good. The curry was very good. It was my favorite thing. It's not quite what Mom used to make, but it was pretty good. It was pretty good. So I was excited that they had been talking about it, because when they said, hey, when Ashley said, Leah and Margarita are talking about going to Manila Bay, would you want to go? I'm like, fuck yeah, I want to go. I was so hungry when I got there, I forgot to take any pictures. So I apologize. I didn't get any pictures of my delicious curry, but I did get this. This was actually my dinner tonight. So I tried to go to Farina for dinner because it's Ashley's last night working until after the wedding. I completely forgot that somebody had bought out the restaurant for their wedding rehearsal dinner. So I went next door to the sister restaurant called Extra Virgin, and this is one of their specials. It's a soft shell crab that's fried and seasoned in carrots and green onions, and then like a soy sauce based sauce. It was pretty delicious, especially with, you can see the bottom of my old fashioned. And then for a second course, so this is a tapas style restaurant, so it's all shareable plates. Everything's good, but typically you're sharing, so everybody. For us, we don't mind going because we're not germaphobes, and we usually go with our friend Lillian, who also isn't a germaphobe. So we all pick off each other's plates. But yeah, I followed up the soft shell crab with a linguine and clam dish, and it was pretty good too. It was pretty good. I was going to try and bring some home so I could show you, but I was pretty hungry. So
you ate all of it.
I ate all of it, 100%. Ate all of it, and it was delicious. Extra Virgin in Kansas City. They have a fairly seasonal menu. Some things stick around a little bit longer than others. But if you're in a soft shell crab or clams with linguine, definitely go try them out. I especially think for good reason, the soft shell crab is going to be a very seasonal dish, so you're going to be very limited on when you can order it. So I would suggest, if you're in the area, you like soft shell crab and you like fine dining, get to Extra Virgin and try that out. It was pretty delicious. And I can't be in the restaurant. I know all the bartenders in there because they all worked with Ashley for a long time. Had to get me some dessert. They've got about the best soft serve ice cream as you'll find, and they have this chocolate chip cookie that
nice.
My guy
Is it warm?
I think it was warm, but I took a big old dollop of the ice cream off the top because it was stacked pretty high, and I put it right on the cookie, so it cooled off pretty quick.
What you're supposed to do.
But it was pretty good. Isaac's taste it was a little floofy for him, and he's allowed to have that opinion. His wife is a pastry chef, and I think he realized when I was saying, I think I might like the floofy cookie, so let me try it. When he saw me put the ice cream on it, he was more on board because he's like, oh yeah, that makes more sense. The ice cream on it, yeah, that makes more sense. So it was pretty good. I ate all the ice cream, which basically means when we're done recording, I'm going to be doing things that lactose tolerant people do after they eat pictured amounts of ice cream. But you know what? It was worth it. It was pretty damn good. Yeah. But I do regret not getting any pictures of my Filipino food because as jealous as I get of you every week, I don't know how I didn't think to take any pictures. I think I just went in really hungry and excited about eating Filipino food that I completely forgot and just went to town on it. And by the time I realized I hadn't gotten any pictures, it was half over and didn't look all that fantastic anymore. But yeah, that was
all right. We spent 30 minutes talking about food.
It was a good food week. I was about to say it was a good food week. But you're right. We've spent 30 minutes on it. So I think it's time to move on to another segment we like to call Hey Dad, Watch This. This is all about the adventures or stuff you do that if you were a little kid, you might say something like, Hey Dad, watch this. What do you have for us, Alex?
No pictures, but I'm done with flag football until June. So with no flag football, last Sunday I just went to the UFC gym to do some heavy bag work. And of course, last week I mentioned that my apartment gym got new equipment, so I've been enjoying that. Oh, it's starting to warm up out here, so we're walking outside.
Hell yeah.
There's a park that overlooks the beach. Tomorrow, it's going to be warm tomorrow. I might just go down to the beach and try to get brown.
There you go. Good prep for some Costa Rica.
Yeah, I got pre-bronzed myself.
There you go.
I already heard people in the gym talking about yeah, let's go to the beach. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna go too. I haven't been to the beach other than playing football. I haven't been to the beach in a long time.
You've still been there more recently than myself, so
yeah. Of course, I live further from the beach now. It's like a 12-minute walk down there.
That's not bad,
as opposed to a 30-second walk.
Yeah, for me, I haven't been very good about getting into the gym. I need to do that, but we did. Pretty much as soon as I got home, I got changed, and I went to take Melly out. That's her on the side here. And sure enough, as soon as we got in the elevator, fire alarm started going off. We were still able to go down in the elevator, but I thought they were going to be able to turn it off. Apparently, the front desk girl that was on duty today didn't know how to turn it off properly. So, yeah, the fire department showed up, 2 engines deep, and an SUV going the wrong way. And I don't know what they did, but they got it figured out because we sat out there for about 20 minutes and went in and didn't hear an alarm the entire time. However, I will say thank you, KCFD, for being quick to respond to a fire alarm that nobody was sure of whether it was an emergency or not. So I'm totally okay with erring on the side of safety versus the side of careless recklessness and not doing what you're supposed to do during a fire alarm and people getting hurt. So yeah, that was that. My friend Lillian was playing softball and got a big old knot in her knee. We actually had to take her to the emergency room, which it ended up just being a really big bruise. So she was actually fine. But yeah, ball got her pretty good. She was in a little bit of pain. And unfortunately, I was able to say, quite honestly, I get it. Know how you feel. Been there before. Because I have been smoked right in the knee, with a screaming softball. I mean, for me, and it looks like the same for her, whoever hit it got every bit of 120 miles an hour. So that probably didn't feel good. Lil, way to hang tough. I'm hoping the swelling has gone down a little bit. What else did I have? I'm going to say that for another segment. But yeah, that's kind of what I've done so far. I think the plan tomorrow before we go down to Wichita is probably try and get a little bit of workout in and a good shower, clean and groom, and make sure my nails don't look weird before we go down to Wichita. So yeah, that is Hey Dad, Watch This. Time to talk about some more fun stuff. That is toys. That is Alex's. That is the ode to Alex's channel, other personal project channel. I play nerd, and I usually don't have anything, so got to let Alex start it off because he's got the cool shit when it comes to this subject. What are you sharing?
The last time we recorded was on Saturday, the 3rd of May.
Yep.
We released it on the 4th of May, which is, maybe
Star Wars Day, baby.
I just happened to go to Walmart, and Walmart's by me are pretty lame. They just don't get the selection that I like, but it's by the UFC gym, one of the UFC gyms I go to. So went there, stopped by just to, see what they have. Low expectations.
Sure.
But I found something I've been looking for.
That's
R2D2.
Oh, yeah, baby.
And typically I don't buy stuff at regular price as much anymore. I kind of wait for them to go on sale, but
sure.
I saw it was May the 4th. It was just released, and I was thinking, I'm not going to see this ever again at this price. One, because I never go to Walmart. Two, Walmart's by me just suck as far as getting, a good selection of action figures. And it was also May the 4th. I've been waiting years for this because I've had C-3PO for 2 or 3 years, maybe. I'm like, I gotta pair him up with R2D2, but R2D2 has been very expensive.
The original droids, I like.
Previous releases, but then they just released this one because it's 20 years since Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith was released. So they're doing kind of a nostalgic release of action figures from that movie, and they said it's a Walmart exclusive. I said, Walmart exclusive doesn't mean shit. That means I'll never see it. I'll never see it. Yeah. I just happened to find it. They had a bunch, which means they just opened up a case. They threw it out. Those will be gone they're probably gone after a few hours. Because you're gonna get some scalpers let's grab all the fucking R2D2s and
they're gonna clean it out so they can sell all that shit on eBay at a premium.
So happy to get R2D2 though to pair up with my C-3PO. I put up one of my shelves. I made a Return of the Jedi display because I have other figures from Return of the Jedi, and that's my favorite Star Wars movie.
Nice.
So very happy. Very happy to get finally, after 2 or 3 years, finally get R2D2 to pair up with my C-3PO.
C-3PO. I like it.
Finally.
I like it.
I filmed the toy review video from my page really fast or really quickly. I put priority on it, and it's got a decent amount of views. My views have gone down just because I think YouTube's being YouTube.
They want to keep their money, so they change things so that you make less of it.
This one's I released it 4 days ago. It's already over 130 views, which
hell yeah,
for a small YouTube channel is not very consistent as much, especially since they changed the algorithm, and now a lot of my toy review videos just don't get shit views. They're under 100. This one popped up. That might be more of timing because it was just released. This figure was just released. Yeah. So people are like, "Oh shit, it's out."
If you have anything new, keep going for a sec because my contact is bugging me, so I'm going to take him out real quick.
Yeah.
But I will be back in about 5 seconds.
But R2D2, my favorite droid from Star Wars. C-3PO, probably second. He's kind of a pussy. BB-8 is kind of I'm not so big on the sequel trilogy because it's just terrible writing. Characters started out good, and then they didn't really pan out to anything. If you go into Rogue One, then you have K2SO, who's also for a droid who's on there for just one movie. Pretty damn good character. But it's always going to come back to C-3PO. I've been waiting for this for many years.
Do you have any that are from... So, for me, Star Wars, and I don't know as much as you do, but it gets kind of divided up in a few different things. There's the original 3 episodes, so episode 4, 5, and 6.
Which I watched on May the 6th. I'm sorry, May the 4th.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I didn't watch it. I put my TV on and turned them on while I watched the other stuff. And every once look back at my TV going, okay, now we're on Empire Strikes Back.
Well, yeah, you've seen it enough times, and quite frankly, those of us who are old enough, for the most part, have seen the original 3 episodes. So again, episode 4, 5, and 6. We've seen them enough that you can turn it on in the background and know exactly what's going on, right? But yeah, that's kind of one era, and then the next one is the prequel episode. So episode 1, 2, and 3 with Anakin Skywalker and Padme and my favorite character. Well, one of my 2 favorite characters. Oh shit! It just escaped me. Yeah, R2D2.
What did you say, Jar Jar Binks?
BB-8.
BB-8's not from the prequel.
What?
He's from the sequel. He's from the.
Is he from 789?
He's from 789.
Oh shit! Well, okay, fine. That's my guy from, for me, the 3rd era / the sequel. I guess from the prequel, it might be Jar Jar Binks or Padme, because Padme was super hot. That's Princess Amidala, for anybody that's not quite sure who I'm
Queen Amidala. And then
I'm sorry, thank you, Queen
Padme.
Amidala. Thank you.
She's a queen, but she's not a queen. We kind of touched upon this in a previous episode where we talked about, hey, she's a queen. Yeah, but she's not royalty. She's elected. So she's a senator. They just give it, just the title of queen.
It's a title, yeah.
Yeah, it's not like a family thing. It's you're elected to be queen. You serve for a certain amount of years, and then someone else gets elected as queen. It's not queen in the sense that we know from the real world.
Yeah. By the way, if you celebrated it, happy belated Star Wars Day for those of you Star Wars heads out there. And hopefully May the 4th was with you.
It was with me, bitch. I got R2D2.
Oh, yeah, R2D2. I tell you what, so talking about I Play Nerd, all about the toys. I'm not into the action figures and comics like Alex is, so his shit is clearly a lot cooler. However, if there was ever a second action figure I'd want, flopping LeBron, baby. Flopping LeBron. Hilarious.
They made a LeBron Barbie doll. It sold out really fast.
Yeah, that's lame.
Is that it?
This is way funnier. He's flopping on the ground. He's on the ground hurt. That's first aid kit. Baby Bron Bron's bottle.
Can you get him in different jerseys from his different teams?
I don't know.
A different color floor,
I'm going to get it,
team it was.
If I can find any of them, I'll get it. And furthermore, if I can find one of Jordan jumping up and dunking over him while he's laying there, I want that too. But that's just me. Yeah, I don't have any new toys, but I saw that one and I was like, oh, that might be my favorite toy of this week. However, with it having just been May the 4th, I like your ode to the Star Wars series, especially the original.
It worked out. I found R2D2, and I said, you know what? I'm going to change one of my shelves to. I changed it from kind of 80s, 90s DC superheroes to Return of the Jedi.
I like it, dude.
I like it too. I walk past, I'm like, yeah, all right. I got Star Wars represented.
Nice. I do like the representation. And I love that we do this because you always have something cool to share. And by the way, folks, don't forget to check out Alex's personal project. It's called I Play Nerd on YouTube. Spell it all in one word. Should find it. If you like the toy hunts, toy reviews, action figures that are actually played with, go check the channel out.
I open my toys. They're not meant to be.
Open the toys, baby. Yeah, go.
Which is what I tell my buddy and one of my college buddies and I do. I'm like, toys are meant to be played with.
That's like having, for me, I liked cars. That's like having like, a McLaren F1 that you never drive because you want to keep the miles off it. What is the point of having a McLaren F1? It's made completely of carbon fiber for I think 2+ decades. It was the fastest street legal car in the world. What are you going to get that car and fucking sit on it for? Like, you're not going to take it out. That would be a waste of a perfectly beautiful car that is so well engineered. I mean, it was close to being able to, like if you were in a tunnel, the aerodynamics are close to being able to hold it to the ceiling if it was going like 120 miles an hour. Like, that's some cool shit. But yeah, that is Alex. That's our ode to Alex's personal project, I Play Nerd. Don't forget to check him out on YouTube at I Play Nerd, all one word. Check it out. Leave a comment if there's something you want him to maybe hunt for. Put it on there, and if it makes sense with some of the other stuff he's got planned, he might do it for you. But yeah, that segment is all about the toys, and it's called I Play Nerd. On to, I think, our newest / probably overall favorite segment of the show. What you watching? This is all about what you're watching, whether it's streaming, whether it's live, whether it's pre-recording, you watched it back. Let us know what you're watching. Alex, what are you watching?
So I like to break it down between 3 different categories. And that's YouTube, movies, and TV shows. So I'll start off with YouTube. There's a typical, I'm trying to be healthy, so I'm looking at workout videos and nutritional videos. Definitely starting to have a trip to Thailand in my head a little bit more, so I'm watching videos about people going to Thailand. I've always been into movie and TV show trailers, and there are definitely some that are out there. So ones that kind of got my attention. Some of them are not too new, but they're more recent. I Know What You Did Last Summer has another movie coming out.
Yeah, they do. It even has Jennifer Love Hewitt and Freddie Prinze in it.
It does. They're not going to be main characters. Otherwise, it'd be like, I Know What You Did, 35 summers ago.
They're just tying it back to.
I'm like, dude, aren't you dead from just natural causes already? You're fucking like 6 years old in 1995. Don't you like 100 now? But that kind of got my attention. But not as much as Final Destination. Or I don't know what it's called, The Final Destination or something like that, where it's going to kind of like gather up the Final Destination movies and kind of be a, I don't know if it's going to be a be-all, end-all to the franchise, which I don't even know what the last one was. But as silly as those movies are, damn, they're fun to watch. Because it's not as horrific as like a Saw movie. But it's like I kind of want to see what happens, Yeah,
100%.
It gets fun, it gets stupid, it gets silly. Like, I got to see this. And then a trailer that was just released today is for season 2 of Peacemaker, which will be on Max.
I have not seen that one. I don't know that I even know what that's about.
So as far as Peacemaker goes, it's a continuation of the Suicide Squad movie from James Gunn.
Okay.
When you're having like a down day, or when I'm having a down day, sometimes there's 2 videos I like to watch. One of them being the SNL skit from Beavis and Butthead, or with Beavis and Butthead.
Okay.
The other one being the opening credits for Peacemaker, because it's just absolutely ridiculous. It's one of those things that's when the show first came out, I texted my buddy and I said, "Hey, I know you're at work right now, but Peacemaker, the first 3 episodes of Peacemaker came out. Just watch the opening credits. It's absolutely ridiculous." So that's what he did. And it's one of those things where it's like, hold on, okay, put this on. It kind of puts you in a good mood because it's completely silly.
Yeah. So
it's
Peacemaker
levels.
2. Does that mean Peacemaker 1 was that good?
Peacemaker 1 was awesome. It's
Oh, damn it!
John Cena is not a good actor, but he was
he's
made for
shitty.
this
That's
role.
why I didn't watch it.
He was made for this role because he's a meathead. He's kind of stupid. He's kind of fun. He's kind of douchey.
Because he's dumb.
Yeah, he's very violent. There are other violent characters. His dad is played by Robert Patrick, who was the T-1000 from Terminator 2.
Oh yeah,
Super racist guy. Kind of a bad guy, super racist, kind of Nazis.
This guy.
He looks
He looks that part. I don't
Yeah,
think he is. In
he
real
plays
life,
it
but he
very
definitely
well.
looks that part.
He's a
For
very
sure.
good actor because you're like, hey, play a really racist Nazi type character. He's like, I got it. That's him in the movie. That's John Cena's dad. So it's got a lot of like silliness to it. It's got a lot of violence. It's a great time. I had a great time with that show. So I'm gonna have a great time with season 2 starts like late April. They just released a trailer for it. So I hope
I'm not gonna leave this on here too long, but here's
Final Destination.
Final Destination.
Yeah, I didn't know if any of these characters are the same people. I'm just like, you know what? You got me. I think it does kind of play homage to the previous movies in some way, which means they probably bring back some characters.
That's good because I feel like there's a lot of people like me that want to watch like all the old episodes or old movies first.
That goes back to I think when we were in high school, dude. It's so old.
I saw like a meme with this new Final Destination coming out, and it was like, finally this generation gets to understand the pain that I feel and my entire generation feels.
Yeah.
When I drive, when I go on a plane, when I go out for a
walk. Have fun driving behind that log truck.
Yeah.
When you're driving right behind a truck, you're like,
I won't even.
No, I'm switching lanes, bitch. I'm switching lanes. I see that. Whoever's on that truck's gonna fucking stab me in the eye.
They're gonna kill me.
I'm gonna go back and
even
revisit
know.
some
They're
of
just
those
gonna
movies
keep
because
driving because
they're just
I'm
so
dead,
fun
but
and
they don't
silly to
realize
watch.
they killed me.
The one where the second guy that dies in the first movie, that like the water leaks out from the toilet.
Yeah, that's absolutely ridiculous. Like, what the hell is that?
There's like that clothesline and it wraps around his neck and everybody thinks that he hung himself. That one had me terrified for years, like of slipping and falling in the bathroom.
Yeah, I won't take a shower anymore.
Like I'm gonna die and everybody's gonna think I committed suicide. All because this water disappeared. Yeah, those movies I feel like for our generation like haunt all of us to this day.
Yep.
I believe that.
Every time I step out the door. Or even if I'm at home cooking, I'm like, hold on, where am I putting this knife? Okay, this shit's really hot. So I'm gonna change some stuff.
Talk about the Pope?
Not yet. Oh. So I haven't watched anything new lately, but I did happen to glance at some news right around just before noon Central Time on Wednesday, and did get to watch the former Cardinal Robert Prevost become the first American Pope, going by the name of Pope Leo XIV. He's not only an American Pope, but he's from Chicago.
I'm loving all of the memes about him being from Chicago and being a Midwestern Pope. Like he's a Pope.
Yep. I think like myself, a lot of the world was shocked that they elected an American Pope. Now,
Hey, Millie.
I get it that the papacy, the Catholic Church, it's not a political election by any means. So it was weird when, again, this was watching the live coverage. The few Americans in the crowd started chanting USA, USA. For the most part, typically, I'm all on board with that. However, this is the papacy. He's the leader of, 1.4 billion Catholics around the world. And the key phrase there is around the world.
I did hear that the Bears are going to win the Super Bowl now, though.
Well, let's pray for that.
They're talking about that on Bears podcast.
What are you doing?
And I don't like them talking about that.
Yeah, I don't like it either.
Because we
actually don't mind
going to last season, and we have had the worst season we've had in years.
Yeah, and I know he did or his brother has done a bunch of interviews literally as soon as he got announced and confirmed that Pope Leo did not grow up. He grew up in the South Side and not a Cubs fan. He was a
his
White
mom's
Sox
a Cubs fan.
Which makes sense. When you're the Pope, you tend to the underdogs, the fucking losers, and the White Sox are fucking losers.
But actually, when he was growing up, the Cubs were losers.
That's fair too. That is pretty fair. What kind of Pope are you, Leo? I'm just kidding.
There was one that was like, finally a Pope that has drank Malort or something like that.
I'm from Chicago. I've never drank Malort.
I've had it once, and I don't really remember what it tasted like. If that says anything about, I don't know.
I was trying to. Yeah, Malort's not good for you. It's kind of gross.
Well, it reminded me of Fernet, but I had also, it wasn't my first drink of the night. So I don't really, it was years ago. So I couldn't tell you what it tastes like.
This one, I already like that one. I was trying to find it. I found some fun memes. Oh, I know where they are.
I saw one with, him holding a bottle of Malort in one hand and a Chicago dog in the other hand.
Where did I put them? Oh, I know where they are. Let me find it real quick. Well, it's right here. Here's one. Popes from Chicago 1, Popes from Green Bay 0. Kind of funny, but also the population in Chicago is so much bigger than Green Bay that
but his outfit
doesn't even count. But I do love the outfit.
You have to put it on there.
Oh shit, I forgot.
There you go.
So, I love the outfit. I wouldn't necessarily do it myself, but I will laugh at it when I see it. And then the other one, you'll enjoy this one, Alex. Time taken up to get picked, new Pope 2 days, Shedeur Sanders 3 days.
Ouch.
Well played. Whoever did that, well played. Very funny. Very funny. So I didn't watch too many new stuff, but I've been watching some memes and shit.
I love the picture that they picked for that one. It's like,
yeah.
I cannot wait for Saturday Night Live tomorrow.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I looked it up this morning. I'm like, is it a new episode? Yes, it is. I want to see what they do.
I wonder if
that's a very short time. That's a very short time frame for them to.
Well, I wonder if they have somebody impersonating the Pope, who it is.
Who is that going to be?
Yeah, who looks like I told Gerard, I love his face. To me, he looks like such a kind, nice man. I don't know. I just want to be his friend, I guess, which makes sense. But
yeah.
I think they'll bring back an old cast member.
He looks like such a good-hearted person.
I will say this, as far as the Saturday Night Live episode. So, kind of one of the odds-on favorites going into Conclave, which, everybody, all the Cardinals will save the world. If you go into Conclave as the Pope, you'll leave as a Cardinal. And one of the odds-on favorites going into Conclave for the world minus the Cardinals was Cardinal Tagle of the Philippines, right? So they've got that little gay Asian guy on Saturday Night Live. I feel like they took a skit that was probably
born young,
and they're just kind of changing the twist on it.
Maybe they'll still do it with him, just him not.
Or maybe he's still Tagle, Cardinal Tagle, and doing different, like, I don't know, they might get into a fight or something funny and ridiculous, right?
Yeah.
However, the one thing that people were saying about Cardinal Tagle is that if he would have won, he would have been the first Asian pope, right? Factually, not correct.
Really?
Not correct. He would have been the first Asian pontiff. Quite frankly, let's think of who the first pope was. St. Peter, as in St. Peter's Basilica. St. Peter was from Jerusalem. Jerusalem was in Israel, Asian country. He was actually Asian. So the first pope was actually Asian.
That's a technicality, though.
You're gonna say Filipinos? You're gonna say Filipinos are Pacific Islanders?
Yeah, it depends on which survey or census you're taking. I usually check both just to be annoying.
One of those I've gone through down rabbit holes, and you go through YouTube. You're like, oh, what does this lead to? And it was like, oh, history of the Philippines. You're like, genetically, they're closer to
Spain. Spanish.
No. Polynesians.
Oh yeah.
Genetically,
even like
you look at genetics. Not about like who draws a map. It's like, well, if you do genetics, if you look at,
why you're so strong and muscly
because of the Samoans.
Because the Samoans.
Maybe.
Yeah, we got a little Samoan in us. We're Samoan. We're Asian. We're Spanish. We're Arabian. We're freaking mutts, dude.
We're mutts. That's why, just like Joe Coy says, we're the Mexico of Asia.
We're Mexican too.
I'm a mutt, but I'm a white mutt.
Yeah. But yeah, I think we were all kind of, you had mentioned it last week that you would watch Conclave. I
watched about 30 minutes of it. And for some reason,
the whole thing.
I was watching when I was sleepy. So I wasn't really grasping onto it.
It was good. The first part of it, okay. I actually had to look up on Google which one was Cardinal Tremblay again, because I was getting them kind of mixed up.
I wasn't picking up on their names, so I might have to start over.
Yeah, I had to look up the was it WebMD or no, not WebMD.
Wikipedia?
IMDb.
So I could see the actors and their names because the card.
Oh, I do that. I do that all the time. I'm not good with names. I have to look up. All right, what's the fucker's name again?
There was two of the names were similar, and so I had to look up who was who for the first hour of the movie. It's not a movie I would watch again, but I'm glad I watched it once. The ending was a twist I didn't see coming. Oh damn!
I'm not gonna watch it.
I was like,
I'll probably start over.
Shyamalan movie. Yeah, I didn't. The ending was. Don't you think? I didn't see the ending coming.
Where it was.
Well, you can't give away that.
Yeah.
I
didn't see it coming. Yeah, you're right.
So it was good, and it was also an ending we had a long conversation about it afterwards. So the ending is kind of one that made you go, what if type situation. So I liked it.
Yeah, it's. I think the new pope, because it's typically it's an older member of the church, and they typically, I know we recently had Pope Benedict, who was the first pope to ever abdicate and vacate the position. But it was interesting. I think it was fascinating to a lot of people. And, obviously the movie Conclave, it spiked in views when Pope Francis passed away, and people were starting to learn about Conclave that didn't already know about it. But yeah, very interesting, very fascinating, I guess. It's it's definitely captivating for sure, because it's such a secret thing. It's the most famous secret society ritual in the world.
I didn't know. we were talking about this, that if the cardinals that are over 80, they're still
They're eligible.
They're still involved in conclave, but they don't have a vote for Pope if they're over 80, which is a lot of them.
Mm-hmm.
Because this Pope is like
Pope Leo is only 69 years old.
Like, that's considered really young.
That's relatively young compared to the vast majority of
88 when he passed
previous popes.
Yeah.
So he is.
I think he has a very, very nice face.
I'm excited for him. He seems like, I'm excited for, quite frankly, partially some of the wrong reasons, because I'm one of those people that, like, I didn't say it out loud and I felt like it was wrong, but maybe a little bit in my heart I was one of those people chanting like USA, USA, and even more so, from Chicago. So I'm shouting out, in my own head, bear down Chicago Bears. This is our year. But that's not the right way to go about it. And also that remains to be seen.
I said there was no way that a pope from the United States would ever happen. I
think that was a sentiment from a lot of people, including the reporters that were covering the live coverage. They were shocked.
I was shocked. I was genuinely shocked. I think not just a pope from the United States. I think him also was a surprise because he wasn't on anybody's radar.
Not until the day before they went into conclave.
Yeah,
and then his name started rising.
I guess we still know what they're thinking before they go into that. Most of it's speculation.
Sure. And that's...
I don't know what the Vegas odds for that were.
Theoretically, right? That's the right way to go about it, right? Go on without having thought somebody is better than everybody else. Just do the vote, secret ballot style, and then read them off. And by the end of that, you should have your new pope. I'll be honest, I'm not a big fan of the speculating that a lot of people would do. But yeah. Anyway, if you're religious, thanks be to God for Pope Leo. Thank you to Pope Francis. I like the inauguration. That's what I'm calling it. I don't know if that's what you call it, but I think he presented himself well. He spoke in Italian to start his speech and then switched to Latin pretty smoothly. And neither of those are his first language. So.
I saw some people complain that he didn't speak in English. They're like, he's American, he's speaking English. Well, I'm like,
yeah,
you fucking idiots.
It's not about that.
The whole entire world is not American.
Yeah,
did he speak Spanish at all? Because
he did a little bit. Yeah, he did.
I heard he did Latin, Spanish, and Italian.
Did he? Because
he speaks 4 languages. Holy shit!
Well,
he speaks more than that, actually.
I speak 1. I don't do that very well either.
He spent the majority of his life in Peru.
I heard he spent 20 years in Peru, somewhere.
The majority of his time as a cardinal was in Peru. Yes. But yeah, he has dual citizenship, and a comment I heard today was pretty funny. I think it was today. It was kind of, it was live. It was a live report because it was kind of discussion on the new pope and all that. And one guy, he was from several of the people on this cast were from Chicago, and one of them said something funny in that he wishes it would have been in Chicago, like Pope Francis would have been elected while he was in Chicago, because then first thing he could have said is, just to be clear, VP Vance does not speak on behalf of the Catholic Church. Which, I don't know if you heard this, JD Vance, who I don't hate.
That motherfucker dropped our national championship trophy. So fuck him.
Yeah. Also, he's
I'd be
the
mad
one
if my
that
mom dropped that
thinks-
trophy.
he's the one that thinks like your vote, my vote, and Ashley's vote, because we don't have kids, should be worth less.
Less, like 1/5, or was it 3/5?
Well,
Back in the day.
he got kind of condemned by Pope Francis and
Yep.
actually
Sure did.
Leo.
Pope Leo before he became Pope, when he made a comment about the order of love, the order in which you should love people. And he was talking about you should love your family and then your neighbors and then the people in the next town, basically justifying the immigration laws. And when he was still a cardinal, like tweeted directly, I think it was directly to JD, or a comment on one of JD Vance's posts saying, that's not how Jesus teaches us to love. So I don't think they're going to be besties.
Yep. One thing I'm wondering if anybody's taking bets on is it's a little bit dark, but how long is it going to be before Trump tries to convince everybody that
he's a radical leftist?
that he's got authority over the Pope because the Pope is an American citizen?
Oh God!
Well, how long do you think that's going to take? Because I feel
How long
like
until Trump tries to rename the Pope?
I mean,
I like
the fact
Leo,
that anybody
but Michelangelo's my favorite Ninja Turtle, so he's going to be Pope Michelangelo the First.
or that picture that got
And
released
Vatican
in
City
all
will
the
be
papal
called
garb.
American City Junior.
Yeah, it was pretty good. I did anyway. Yeah, I did like the meme.
God, I need some SNL. 24 hours from now, I've seen SNL. I'm like, yeah, we covered. They covered it.
Yeah. So on to something that's not going to save Dave Kim, but probably a little sad because I was a Spurs fan once upon a time. After
Spurs as in San Antonio, or as in the English?
Spurs, I was in San Antonio because I like Tim Duncan.
Tim Duncan's fucking awesome, dude.
Yeah.
I was never a Spurs fan, but I recognize great basketball.
Right. Well, the great
Popovich,
Greg Popovich had to address the media the other day and basically announced that he's stepping down as head coach of the San Antonio Spurs.
I didn't know he's still a coach. He's been there for a fucking long time.
Well, he had a stroke recently.
Oh, shit.
So, he had started some rehab stuff, but ultimately, I think which is a hard thing to do for somebody in that position, regardless of how young or old they are, and especially if they're still one of the players or athletes, is coming to terms with the fact that you probably can't do the job anymore.
That's sad.
So he made his announcement. He actually was very graceful about it. Okay. He was very graceful about it. I was very impressed. And made some good jokes. So you can tell he's a little bit slower, post stroke, but he's still got his wits and humor about him. And I admired it, and I'm glad I watched it because I don't know. I think Pop is one of the great
He's
ones.
an all-time. He's gonna next when he's in the news again, it'll be because he has a 24-year-old girlfriend. He's been talking to Bill Belichick.
Well, he's still married to his first wife, so I think
for now,
he's in good. Yeah, that's fair for now. Anyway, best wishes to Coach Popovich. Hopefully, the healing process continues to go well, and maybe even accelerated now that you're not, burdening yourself with the stresses of being a head coach in the NBA. So, yeah. What a great career for you, Greg Popovich. Man, we are still on What You Watching. We are above and beyond our typical time.
we're still on What You're Watching. In our last episode, I kind of touched upon what I thought was going to happen on The Last of Us. And I was right.
Oh,
she's
yeah.
pregnant.
Yes. Yeah. Thank you for bringing that up.
By the way, that actress is in the Peacemaker, the Peacemaker season 2 trailer.
Yeah.
And in the
Dina,
Superman trailer.
If
She
you're
plays
not
the same
caught up,
character.
spoiler alerts on The Last of Us. Dina, as Alex predicted, and I'm sure as most of you guys that play the video game already knew, Dina is pregnant. I love some of the lines that came afterwards. Ellie going, "I'm going to be a dad." That was pretty funny. And then even bring in, I forget what his name is, the Asian guy.
I forgot his name. He's so like background.
Yeah. How's this going to work? Oh, Jesse. His name is Jesse.
Yeah.
But thoughts on that? They start to cruise into Seattle, and Allie says, you don't have to do this. And Dina says, I was always going to do this. And Ellie says, well, things are different now. I think this is where, and you kind of see it already. This is where Ellie starts to feel and relate to what Joel was feeling when he saved her, right? So I'm curious how that's going to turn out. Excited for the next episode. Yeah. It wasn't as action packed as other episodes, but the storyline's there.
A lot happens.
It's definitely.
Dina knows that Ellie's immune. She has.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Which in the video game, I think it happens a lot earlier, but I'm glad we got to that point already.
Well, that's kind of what triggered her to tell Ellie that she was pregnant, right?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Never low trust. Something else I'm watching though. So I've been talking about Star Wars for adults, and that's Andor. And the way they release Andor right now, which is actually pretty awesome, they release 3 episodes a week on the same day.
Like net new, or are any of them?
They drop 3 at the same time. Wow. And they're about 35 to 50 minutes each. So you get like 2.5 hours of Star Wars. You pretty much get a movie every week. And
that's pretty cool. I've heard great things about it too.
And they drop them on Tuesdays, and I typically I'm like, dude, I can't watch all of this out in one night because I gotta work. So I watch 1 to 2 or 1 to 1.5 episodes on Tuesday. This past week was so intense. I watched all 3. I stayed up late, which is not a good idea.
Like too late, right?
It's Tuesday night. It's so I gotta work on Wednesday. I was like, I gotta see the next one. Holy shit, it was intense.
Yeah,
like I said before, it's Star Wars for adults. I heard people say it's the best Star Wars since the original trilogy. I'm likely to agree because it's just the writing's so that good. The first season I said it's not even a Disney Plus movie, a TV show. It's like an HBO Max TV show. Like HBO Max made Star Wars. So it's just that good. There's 1 more week left, which means there's 3 more episodes left. And when they first started Andor, it's like, well, are they going to do? I think they said we're going to do 5 seasons of it, or we're going to do 3 seasons of it. No, they're doing 2 seasons, and they're wrapping it up right now. It's going to flow right into Rogue One. So I want to watch next week's episodes, and then I'm going to flow right into. I'm going to rewatch Rogue One.
Watch them all in like chronological order.
Yeah, which is great. They're just doing 2. They're just doing 2 seasons because it's going to grow stale. Stuff's going to start getting boring. Contracts are going to run out. You can see actors that leave and writers leave and showrunners leave. So 2 seasons, that's probably perfect. They probably could have done 3 seasons, but doing the 2 seasons is it keeps it very interesting. It's not going to go stale. The way they're able to release episodes, it's not like all at once, so you don't run into that whole you forget about it. But they drop 3 at once, and they do it 4 times. So it stays in the mind, and it's enough. It's enough of the story for 1 week that it grasps onto you.
Okay, I might have to check that one out. You might have to do that.
Then I finished Dead City, The Walking Dead. Show stars Negan and Maggie, which I thought was pretty decent. But at the very end of this season, I don't know if I liked where they were going with it. I was like, yeah, not sure if I like that type of writing. But there's a second season coming up, so we'll see where that goes. And it came out I think that Dead City came out 2 years ago. So I think that the second season's coming up pretty soon.
Yeah, one of my customers that I did a walkthrough at his at his company's headquarters. His license plate literally says Boba Fett, and he is a big old Star Wars head.
Nice.
And he had talked about Andor and it being just awesome.
It's not for kids. It's about
you did say that
war. It's it's not like super action, although there is action. It's about like politics and navigating things, and and you see why the Empire is so evil and bad, but you also see the good guys ain't so good sometimes.
Yeah.
They have to do stuff to get this rebellion going.
Kind of like Batman.
There's definitely a morally gray, maybe even darker than gray area where like, I don't know if I think this is a good guy. They do one of the guys though that's kind of a major player is played by Stellan Skarsgård. If you don't know who he is, if you look him up, you're like, oh, I've seen that guy in so many movies since the 90s. And then his kids are all over freaking TV and the movies. He has a whole fucking family of Skarsgårds where they're in Succession, they're in Stephen King's It, they're in some History Channel shit. And then Stellan Skarsgård's been around so much. His character's great. So we have the last 3 episodes coming up next week.
Nice.
I'm going to probably try to time it right so I watch it as soon as it drops. So I don't have to stay up too late.
Yeah. I don't know if we're going to get to that one just because there's so many Star Wars that we've missed that I don't know if it makes sense to go start watching Andor. But we might do it, and this might be the weekend to binge a little bit because we're going down to Wichita tomorrow for nephew's graduation. And then it sounds like we might do just some dinner at her parents' house. So I'm kind of thinking maybe we still get our own Airbnb, but have dinner at the house.
Keep talking. I got to pee really bad.
Okay. Anyway, yeah. It's something that we're planning on watching. It's kind of hard because we get into the murder documentaries and stuff like that. So that usually occupies our shared screen watching time. But yeah. I don't know. And then as far as watch anything, I actually looked up the correct I don't know what you want to call it. The correct translation of Habemus Papam. I bring you the literal translation of Habemus is I bring you tidings of great joy. And then Habemus Papam is we have a pope. So yeah, good stuff. I just happened to be in a position where I could watch it live, and it was definitely very compelling. Very compelling. Yeah, we are kind of getting past where we usually are, so especially with Alex getting back, I think it might be time to get into closing thoughts. However, before we do that, just a quick reminder that if you like what we're doing, if you love the episode, or if you have any ideas that you want to share related to the episode or even future episodes, don't forget to put a comment in the comment section. If you would like to support us further, hit that like button and subscribe to our channel. And then the ultimate would be all those coupled with clicking that notification bell so you know when our new episodes are coming out. If you prefer to stay more anonymous, you can always hit us up on Gmail. That address is gagepodcast@gmail.com. One more announcement is we are recording this episode on Friday night, so we're going to release it Saturday, May the 10th. Our next recording is going to be, Thursday, May the 15th, to be released on May the 16th. And then we are actually going to take a little bit of time off from there because we'll be in Costa Rica. So we might do some shorts to share with you guys, but we are going to be in Costa Rica because I am lucky enough to be marrying the lovely lady that we were just talking to, Ashley, and we're going to all be doing that in paradise, aka Costa Rica. So we're pretty excited about that. We're going to try and get some shorts done while we're there, Alex and myself, and we'll get those posted if we can. Obviously, there's going to be other priorities, but if there's anything you want us to do while we're down there, again, put them in the comments, shoot us an email, and we'll see what we can do. All right, that's enough of that. Time to get into our closing thoughts. As usual, I'm coughing, so I'm going to let Alex lead us off on closing thoughts.
So I'm going to throw it back to have the new Pope, and big thing that happens, it's a signal that the new Pope has been selected, is that there's white smoke that comes out of, I don't know what the hell that was, some pipe.
The chimney. They actually
some chimney.
Yep.
So I'm going to do my own little personal tribute to that. Something I do, which makes me laugh. I wear boxer briefs. I like to dump some baby powder down there.
Hey!
And then fart and watch the smoke come out.
I feel like we've all done that.
It's funny. It makes me laugh. I do it in the mirror. It's great. It wastes a lot of baby powder, though. Or Gold Bond, whichever one you do.
I'll say usually it's Gold Bond. So at least it feels good.
Now, if you decide to copy me, one thing you need to know is that if you're like me and you wear sweatpants or gym shorts commonly instead of like jeans or regular pants, a lot of times that powder protrudes out onto your sweatpants or your gym shorts, mine are typically black. A lot of people wear black shorts or sweatpants. And if you go out in public, you're going to have a big white butt stain that people are going to look at.
Yep, been there.
So just tell them it's for the Pope.
It's for the Pope, baby. Yeah, kind of that also related to the Pope, lost my train of thought. It's not USA, it's not Bear Down Chicago Bears, although I'm all for both. But that's probably a huge reason why I wasn't in the running to be Pope, outside of me not being part of the clergy. But just remember, even if you don't necessarily agree with the Catholic Church or believe that Jesus Christ was our Lord and Savior, only Son of God, whatever.
Dude, we're going deep here.
What's that?
So we're going deep here. We're going to talk about religion.
Oh, no, I'm not going to that. But just keep in mind, ultimately, the significance of this, why it's so compelling to so many people, is because theoretically, anyway, the representation is, the message is, the goal is unity across the entire world. For all of us to be kind and loving to each other, regardless of political beliefs or values, whatever. Just to be able to be kind to each other, respect each other, love each other, welcome each other, and be able to prop each other up. So whether you agree with the religion or not, maybe think about that part, and maybe let's take this as maybe a starting point to think of our actions in that sense, regardless of whether you agree with the Catholic religion or not. Ultimately, let's maybe try and help each other unify with the rest of the world. Be unified, be loving and caring and accepting of each other, even if we don't necessarily agree with each other. I think we can, I think we're both lucky enough that we have friends that we agree and disagree with on quite a few issues, but I think we are respectful enough of our friends and family that even if we disagree, we can still love each other, we can still respect each other, we can still hold each other up and support each other, because that's what it is. It's unconditional. Anyway, that's my closing thoughts. Again, we'd love it if you would leave us a comment, like the episode, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell, or shoot us an email. But I think that is where we are going to leave it for today. I'm going to queue up some stuff so we can get on out of here. Yeah, thanks for joining us, everybody. This has been another episode of the GAJ Podcast. One more episode, and we are taking a little bit of time off. So we will see you next week. That's my R2D2 invitation. R2D2, your C3PO. Thanks, everybody.